Hi, it's Mark Vickers here. I'm the Senior Print Consultant for PrintVis software here at Sabre Limited, and welcome to the video today. In this video we're going to take a look at price lists. There are three ways to handle price lists. The one today that we're going to take a look at is to manually and this is to attach to an item. We're talking about price lists attached to an item. So we're going to look at, and I'm going to demonstrate how to set up the price list that goes into an item, and we do this manually. The other way that you can do it is PrintVis has supplied a tool called Paper Import Export, and this functionality is a way that you can take, for example, receive a price list from your paper merchant and set that up so that it imports your prices, your items and your prices. And the third way would be a nav tool called Rapid Start. There's lots of publication on YouTube as to standard nav as to how to do that, but we will also generate a video so you'd have a source to that pertaining to paper. But today we're just going to focus on the manual process of creating one, attaching it to a price list, and then how that functions. So let's get started. So now you can see here I have on my screen I have the roll center, and so starting from there, first thing we're going to do is go to our items, and this brings up our list of items, and I have all of my items here. There's a variety of things, so let's first of all we can set this so that we add to the paper item type, and let's just focus on our papers. So we'll go down here and find paper. There we go. Tab through that, and this will just isolate the filter to our papers. And let's take a look at this one. This is my 100 pound sterling gloss text. So the first thing we'll do is we'll open that up, and you have the standard fields that you're used to hopefully by this point. But let's go down to the PrintVis pricing tab. We'll open that fast tab, and in this tab you can see the price unit for the display and estimating is set to pieces. I actually have a purchasing cost up here, last purchase price. On this center here with the pricing we have set for PrintVis pricing, it's set for 4 cents per piece, and here this is telling PrintVis to transfer this cost to your estimate. And in the second field down, you'll see the field called Price List Code. This is where we're going to attach a price list. So we open this chevron. First thing we do is it pulls up our list of price lists. And we have a few in here, but I don't have one specifically for my sterling text pricing. So let's create one. So I'm going to click New, and this opens a fresh price list page. First thing I need to do is give it a code name for this. So we're going to put this for sterling text. And generally what I think we tend to see in the industry is pricing is set per hundredweight for 70 pound and up in your text categories, and then there's a separate price, usually a few dollars more, for 60 pound text and your cover weights. So we'll identify this as our 70 pound. We've got sterling text. We'll go 70 pound and up. And that's my code, just so we can see it, and we'll just kind of say the same thing here in our text. Sterling text, 70 pound and up. Okay. So now that we have that, we have our main section. We'll come back and we'll touch on a couple of these fields in a minute, but right now what we have is the price list entries. And this is where we're going to enter our actual price values. And like many of the other tables that we have the ability, you can see in the different column headers, we have the ability to create some parameters with which to define a pricing. It can be set for a product group. It can be set for a customer group. So you can have special pricing for special customers. That kind of scenario, we'll take a look at that. But what we want to do here is I'm just going to move this across so you can see it. And this is our first dimension. and the dimension is going to be set by the quantity. So starting at 1, and what we of course have to do is we have to set that first dimension is set to pieces. We have the option of whether we're pounds or underweight, but we want the category to be set by the quantity of the piece. So we'll go pieces here, and you can see it sets this to pieces at the top. It was hours, but now it has changed it to register pieces. And what we're saying is from one sheet up, our cost price is, let's say, I think it's $85. $85. And calculation unit, though, what we want to change here is it's to be 100 weight. Okay? Because I've decided that what I'm actually going to do is I want to deal with our 100 weight pricing, which we're quite familiar with. Now we might have an overhead rate. We can use the standard, or I'm just going to clarify here on this particular one, I'm going to make sure that we're doing 20%. And this gives me a sell price of $102 per hundredweight on this paper stock. So just to confirm, we enter a coding. We now add our description. We have to set our dimension to tell it what unit of measure do we want it to determine its pricing. So for example, in this, of course, we could add a second line where if you get a special price break at 10,000 sheets or 5,000 sheets, you could enter that price. And your estimate will take a look at what quantity of paper am I looking for and use the appropriate line for your price. Okay. Don't forget to set your dimension to set that category. And if you want to change it, it will default to your pieces, but then I've told it that I want it to work with pricing for calculation units in 100 weight price. And that's it. So I close that. And it automatically loaded because I accessed it through here, so it's loaded this into my item. So I now have this price list attached. And at this point, the next important thing that we have to remember to do is to deselect transfer cost. If we were to leave this connected, even though you have a price list attached, it's going to use the 0.04 cents per piece. So by doing this, we now have it so that it will look up on our price list. One last thing I'm going to choose to do here is right now, even though it's set at a 100 weight price, it's going to show a per piece price in my estimate. But I'm working with 100 pound. I'm very comfortable with that. So I'd like to see that displayed. It adjusts and it says, okay, well, it's $20 a 100 weight. And that's based on the 4 cents. That's not my price list. That's based on that 4 cents, which of course didn't seem to be realistic at this point, but that's what it is. I just wanted you to be able to see the difference that we go when we load it, what it was, and how it changes when we now invoke a price list. So now that we've got our paper stock set, let's go to back to our roll center and just look at our cases. I'm going to take a cases responsible. And let's take a look at this estimate right here. This looks like a good one. Let's see what we've got in here. And yeah, this is a brochure, 2,500, 16 pages. I'll open my job card. And we've got a cover, so it's a 16-page plus cover. And we have, I'm just going to show you the stock that we have. It's the same stock, our PS044. And opens it up, and that's our 100-pound sterling gloss. So now I haven't really adjusted anything. It's still using the existing one, so I just want to go to the estimate for a minute so that you can see. And on our text page, that's our paper. It has our quantity. It's our stock. And there's that 4 cents of cost price that was originally set before we added our price list. So I have not introduced the price list into this estimate yet. In order to do that, I will go in and I'm just going to change it. So to change this stock, I'm just going to select a different paper. We'll just go and grab this one for a minute. Okay, and now when I go back and reselect it, it will go back to my items page and pull that paper item in again, but this time it's going to see there's a price list attached. And if I go to my estimate page and I look at the paper stock for my paper, and there it is. It's now, remember that was 4 cents a piece, and it's now been set to $85. The pricing, which is confirmed right here, I can see, is calculated in hundredweight pricing. That was pieces before. And so I have my cost at $85. It takes and multiplies the quantity of sheets times the hundredweight price for a total cost of this. There's my marked up price, and there's my full sell price, including markups, based on that $102 per hundredweight. And that's all pulled from my price list. And that's how we manually set one up. So thanks for watching the video today. If you have any questions, please contact us at Sabre Limited, and we'd be happy to help you out. Thank you very much.